Hello, welcome to another Blender tutorial. So in this video, we are going to see how to create the lightning bolt effect. So we will use this default cube for creating this effect here. So first we need to go to the edit mode and we need to select all the vertex and we need to merge into the center. So just by pressing M, we can merge all the vertex to the center. So now it has been created one vertex. So now what we need to do is we need to extrude this vertex towards the Z direction by pressing E, and just I will hold the Z. And again, I will extrude one more time. So by pressing E, Z. So now it has been created a curve. So now we will go to the edit mode and just we will give the name for this thing. So just we'll call it as lightning. So next what we will do is we will add a thickness for this thing. So by selecting this object, we'll go to the modifier tab and here we can add the skin modifier. So we can select this skin. And now it has been added the skin modifier here. And after applying this modifier, we need to change the shape of this thing. So we will go to the wireframe mode and we'll go to the edit mode. So what the thing is, just I will select this two vertex here and we will scale it down. So in order to scale the vertex, we need to press Ctrl A. So we can scale it down. So I will make it very sharp at the corner. And just I will select this middle one and by pressing Ctrl A, you can scale it down. So it depends on your requirement, what kind of shape you want to create, just you can scale according to that. And next, what the thing is, we need to displace this object. That means we need to convert this object into the lightning bolt kind of shape here. Before that, we need to create the vertex group. So in order to create the vertex group, I will select the center vertex and I will go to this option like data. And here I will create the vertex group. And also I will give the name like distortion. And now I will apply more weight on the center and I will apply less weight at the corners of this thing here. Because I want to distort this object more in the center. So I will select the middle vertex and I will apply more weight, like maximum weight, and I will click on this assign. And laterally you need to select this two vertex. And now we need to change the weight. Let's say just up to like 0.8 or something. And just we need to click on this assign. So what the thing is, whenever we apply the displace modifier, it will apply more distortion at the center of this lightning bolt here. So now we'll go to the object mode. And now what the thing is, we need to create one object to control the lightning bolt effect here. So in order to do that, I will create an empty object. Just I will press Shift A and I will go to the empty and click on this plane axis. So this is an empty object which is not renderable. And just we'll give the name for this thing. So select this, like we'll call it as an offset. And now we need to add the displace modifier for this object. So select this object. Let us go to the solid mode. And now here in the modifier tab, just we will go to the modifier and add the displace. So select this displace. And now we need to displace in the X direction. So select this X. And also here you can see there is an option like vertex group. We need to select the vertex group which we have created. So see now the more distortion has been applied at the center of this object here, as we have applied the maximum weight to the center vertex. And now what the thing is, we need to control this distortion. So for that, we will create the new texture for this thing. So just click on this and we have created the new texture. And also the coordinates, like we need to control it based on the object which we have created. So select this object and here we need to select the object. So this is the offset which we have created. So by using this thing, we can able to control the distortion for this object here. So now we need to change the shape of this thing. So what we'll do is here in the modifier, we can click on this option called like show texture tab. So select this. And here the type, we need to select the clouds. So that now you'll get the random shape for this object here. So here we have different types of noise bases. So in this, we will select this Voronoi F1. So you will get nice shape here. And now you need to adjust the size of this thing to, according to your requirement, you can change the shape of this thing. So if you see, you can increase the size. So according to your requirement, you can change the shape of this object here. So play with these values until you get the desired output. So in this case, just I will give 1.1. So this is okay. So we need to apply the distortion towards the both direction, like X and Y direction. So now whatever the distortions we have applied, we will name it as an X. So just we'll go to the modifier tab and we will name it as an X. And also just we will name it as like texture X. So again, we will add another displacement modifier. So just we will minimize this and go to this and select this displace. And this time we'll select it to like Y axis. And just I will name it as Y, and you can click on this new, and also we can go to this option, and here like if you want you can select the Voronoi F3 or just let it be like an F1. So this is fine. And you can apply the size. So according to your requirement, you can adjust the size for this thing. And also here you can see there is a type. You can select it hard and soft. So in this cases, I will select the soft. And also if you go to the modifier, we forgot to apply the vertex group for this Y. So select this and just click on this distortion. So if you want to decrease the resolution of this lightning bolt effect, we can add the another modifier. You can select the object and we can go to this modifier tab and we will select this Displacement. So Displacement, what it will do is just we can decrease the quality of this object here. So by decreasing the ratio here, now see it has been decreased the quality of this object here. So it depends on your requirement. If you want to create more high quality model, then we can increase this, or else we will not apply this Displacement. And next what the thing is, suppose if you want to create the random thickness for this lightning bolt, we can add another modifier. So if you minimize this thing, and if you go to the modifier and we can select this weld option. So what it will do is we can add the random thickness over this lightning bolt. So it depends on your requirement, what kind of shape you want to create. Just you can change the value of this distance here. So now we have created this shape of this lightning. Now we will give some animation for this thing. And also we can make some changes here. Suppose if you go to this displace option, go to the Y and X. So here you can see there is an option like strength. You can apply the strength for this X and Y axis. So if you go to the Y axis, you can see there is an option like strength. So I will go to the X axis in the displace and you can see there is an option like mid level. So you can change the direction of this lightning bolt, like let's say in this way. And now what the thing is, see if you select this thing and now if you move, let's say if I move, see it is going to change the shape of this lightning bolt effect here. And even if you rotate, so if you, let's say if I press R and if I rotate in the Z axis, see now it is going to change the shape of this lightning bolt effect here. But in this case, what the thing is, we'll give some animation like the lightning bolt will come from the top and it will fall down and it will create some small lightning bolt effects towards the side direction here. So in order to do that, we can directly animate to this thing here. Means like if you select this, now you can see. So we can give this nice animation, like we can give the animation for the translate so that you will get this different kind of effect here. So we'll duplicate one more lightning bolt by pressing Shift D and I will rotate in the Y axis. Let's say I will rotate in the Y axis. So see. So now you can give the animation for this thing, but we want this local direction because see now this is facing towards the world direction. I want the pivot point should be faced towards the local direction. And in order to do that, we can select this orientation and here you can select the local so that now we can make an animation in the local direction. And also we'll make another lightning bolt effect and we will scale it down. So just by pressing Shift D and I will rotate in the Y axis. And let us scale this thing. Let's say I will scale up to this point here. So what's the concept is now the two lightning bolts will come from the up direction and it will fall down. And after this, after touching to this ground, we can create this kind of effect here. So I will select this. So both are in the local direction. So everything is in the local direction here. So now we will animate this thing first of all. So like we will give the animation for this thing. So in order to animate, just I will open the controls like translate controls by pressing N. So I will select this object and we can give the animation for the location. So let's say we will go to the 20th frame and just we will add the keyframe for this thing. And same, select this, add keyframe and just we can go to this thing and now we will place it in the top direction. And again, insert the keyframe. So select this, right click, insert. So now we got this nice lightning effect here. So now we have completed this animation here. So now what we'll do is we'll scale it down to 0 after touching to this ground. So until 20th frame, the scale of this object has to be 1. So let's say in the 20th frame, I will give the scale value to 1 and I will insert the keyframe. And after 30th frame, it has to be 0. And just I will insert it. So now what the thing is, now it is looking like it is going through the ground here. So if I click on this play, so now we got this nice animation here. And now what the thing is, we will have to do the same for this object. So until 20, the scale of this object should be 1. And after like going to the 30th frame, give the value to 0. And just insert the keyframe. So now we got this thing here. So after this animation, we need to give the material for this thing. So if you select this and we need to go to this material option. So instead of this principal BSDF, we need to select this emission. And also we need to increase the strength of this emission. Let's say like I will give the value to like 10 or something. And just I will change the color. So let's say I will give this color. And now we need more emission. So as we are using this EV render, so EV render will have this bloom effect. So we need to enable this. So now we got this nice bloom effect over here. So we need to create one ground. So just we'll create by pressing Shift A. We can create the plane and just we can use this thing. And what the thing is, we need to select this light. We can move it to the center here. So after placing this light, we need to give the animation for this light over here. So if you select this light and we go to the light property, and here we can give the animation for this power. So what the thing is, at the starting, I don't want to see the light. As we have not given the animation for this thing, but for this tutorial purpose, that's fine. So now I will give the value to like 0 for time being, and just we can give the animation for this thing. So until like it touches to the ground, until here, let's say until here, the power of the light has to be 0. So right click, you can insert the keyframe. And after this, you can just give the value to like 1000 or something. And just again, you need to right click and insert, so that now you will get this nice lighting effect. And after that, again, it has to fade out. We can give the value to like 0 or something, and we can right click and insert. So according to that, see, we got this nice lighting effect over here. So you need to play with these keyframes until you get the desired output here. So in this way, we can give the animation and we can create this lightning effect. And if you want to render this, we can create the camera. So as we have this default camera, and I will go to this camera view. And just if you want to render, just we can place this. And now see, if you want to render, you can render this image. So we got this nice lightning effect here. And if you want to change the color of the light, we can change, like we can select the light over here, and here we can change the color and we can pick the color. So we got this light and we can render this image. So if you want to give the animation, you can give the animation by using this render animation. Before that, we need to make some changes. Suppose if you select this thing and we have to give the output here. So just we need to select the output. And after that, you can select the format in which you want to save. And also you can select the frame rate per second. And if you want, you can select the 60 frames per second. And laterally, just we need to click on this render animation. And finally, it will create the animation here. So in this way, we can create this lightning bolt effect. I hope you people like the tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the more Blender tutorials.